like science.
I like science.
I like science.
Yeah.
So what we forgot to do last time
Science.
when we cover a new series that we haven't talked about yet
Mhm.
is talk about our experiences with the series.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Um, I remember it being on. I think it was on right before Batman, like the 1960s Batman. But I think I was too young to appreciate Star Trek, and I was kind of rather bored of it. It wasn't until the animated series that I developed an interest in Star Trek. So I didn't really watch the episodes, or if I watched them, I wasn't really captivated or interested. That
Fair.
interest would come later, I think, when I was more mature to understand exactly what was going on. I mean, even though, spaceships and aliens and stuff is interesting. I was, I guess, more of a comic book and monsters kind of kid than a
Hmm.
spaceships and aliens kind of kid. And well, Star Wars kind of changed that, but I think I might have been. God, when was I? I was seven. Let's see, 1977. That was Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have been 5 years old
And I was
when
4.
yeah, when that took hold. But yeah. So yeah, it wasn't until later that I could appreciate the original series.
Yes. I get that. I don't actually classify Star Wars as sci-fi. I classify it as more fantasy
Yeah, I can see that. Space
because
opera.
yeah, there's not a lot of science going on in there.
Yeah, they've got lasers and spaceships and aliens and floating cars and,
Yeah.
similar tropes, but they also have space wizards, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it's George Lucas wanting to do Flash Gordon and not having the rights.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like how Paul Verhoeven wanted to do Judge Dredd, but didn't have the rights, and so he made RoboCop.
I did not know that.
I believe that's the story.
Wow.
And so RoboCop is actually a Judge Dredd story. And if you look at it that way, it makes sense
Mm-hmm. Totally
that
makes
he's
sense.
this one person law enforcement thing.
Yeah. Also, don't watch the Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd is terrible. Watch Dredd
Yeah.
with Carl Urban.
Uh,
It's magnificent.
Yeah, the costuming's good because he looks the part, but everything else is kind of like, what are you even doing? You never take off the helmet.
Hmm.
And
Well, that's the
then the
thing.
Carl Urban Judge Dredd is a masterpiece.
Yes, the thing is he has to take off the helmet sometime. It's just not something that was ever shown in the
Yeah,
comic,
right.
and so, or in the books. So that's something that they should have carried forward. Just the whole thing. I'm guessing
Hmm.
that was a vanity thing from Sylvester
Oh
Stallone.
yeah, of course, because you
Yeah.
want the actor's face, especially if you're the actor. But Carl Urban was like, no,
He's perfect. I love
yeah,
Carl Urban so much.
he's just gonna do his grumpy, frowny face.
Yeah, he's good at grumpy frowny face,
Yes.
which is funny because
Which is what he
he's
brings to McCoy in Star
oh,
Trek.
absolutely. Oh, that's why he's a great McCoy. See, there's a connection, folks.
Yep.
Anyway, well, my experience with Star Trek is it was always on. It was always on. We were always watching it. Sometimes it wasn't always as a family, but if Star Trek was on, we were watching it. And this, of course, started after the original series had made its run, but it was the only Star Trek we had was the original series, and it was one of those things where looking back, I realized things about myself that I was too young to process at the time because of the episode The Devil in the Dark.
Right.
That was what gave me my Spock awakening, if you
Hmm.
will, because I was getting very upset when he was mind melding with the Horta. I thought she was hurting him, and I didn't understand that he was experiencing her emotions and not and granted it was probably still hurting him because they were her emotions, but it was my dad who my mom was like, no, that's not what's happening here. And I'm just like, Dad, can I sit on you? So dad let me sit on him for the rest of that episode. But uh yeah, it's always been a part of my life. I don't
Right.
remember a time before Star Trek. Everyone in the family watched it. We all watched it together. When Next Generation started, we were my family was kind of I'm not sure about this, but after the first episode, things really started getting rolling, and we became that family who gathered on Sunday afternoon and watched, Next Generation.
Right.
And then when Deep Space Nine came along, we did the same thing, and on and on and on. Voyager got spotty because you know the story about that.
Yeah, that
But
was you and me watching that.
yeah, and it was just preempted a lot, so didn't get to see all the episodes as they aired. But I have a great love for Spock, obviously, but that's also because he's an empathic introvert.
Yes.
And so am
Well,
I.
even some would say he's not empathic because he's Vulcan, but he's got that psychic ability. So, I mean, he is by
He is
definition
empathic.
empathic.
Yes, he is empathic. It's very clear, especially when you look at certain episodes, like,
The
oh my God,
women.
yeah, not just that one. That was the the pilot that didn't air until much, 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 much later in the 80s. Oh, hello, Kitty. Come on, there he is. There's the guy.
Yep, you got him in
There's
your
the
arms.
buddy.
He's probably throwing up a
Um,
storm.
yeah, he's getting there. So,
Oh, he's looking up at you.
we should precious boy. So yeah, it wasn't until I was an adult and pretty far along as an adult where I realized why he was my favorite, is because we just had a lot in common. I mean,
Yep.
granted, I'm not psychic or anything, but the thing is that he could. It seems like he had his empathy turned up to 11 from
Right.
his half human side. This is not canon. This is just something that I thought about. And
That cat wants pets.
he's watched pet so much. And he's not, he shouldn't be doing that because that's not the way of his world. And
Yep.
I'm and I as a kid, I was just like, so what? So he's different. So what? But
Yeah.
just little things that you think when you're a kid, but when you're an adult looking back, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's
So,
fun when you can identify with somebody in a television series. I didn't really have a strong experience of that until it was Captain Cold in the Arrowverse
oh, hell yeah, you went for him big
with the
time.
Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I super identified, and then to find out that the actor is autistic and was playing the character with autism, and it's like, yeah, I kind of understood something about myself that way too. It kind of unlocked stuff in my experience. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
what's going on.
Yep. But yeah, it doesn't matter what Star Trek series it was, we watched it. And when Discovery started, I was really excited about that too, and I still love that show and everything that's come after it. So it's the original series. It's the one that started everything. We were a big sci-fi family. We watched so much sci-fi in my house. Both my parents loved it. And so we grew up as massive sci-fi nerds. And even to this day, if there's something sci-fi in the running for something to watch, it's probably going to be that.
Yeah,
So it's probably going to be sci-fi. If there's a group of things that I could watch and one of them science fiction, I'm going with science fiction first. It's kind of my thing,
right.
my first love as far as storytelling. And because you can tell so many different stories through this lens of
Mhm.
future technology. So,
Yeah, it's a great way to explore like social commentary and just take something that's present day and extrapolate it into the future and take it to its extreme.
mhm.
And that's where, like I was listening to the Flap House earlier, and it was Stewart that was doing the mini. and he was talking about movies set in the future and was giving a date even if it was the past date. You know, like like how Back to the Future Part 2 takes place, in the what 2015 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's like as like 20 years into the future from, or maybe it was 2005 even.
Yeah.
That but anyway, that would you like to live in that world, and how much do you think that world is like our own? And they discussed a little bit about how certain scenarios are very similar to our own. We're not that far off from the original Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
Just instead of roving street gangs, we have roving agencies just doing things
Masked
lawlessly.
agents. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a weird reversal.
Yeah. I also feel like the original series was very good at metaphor because
Right.
it told stories about current social situations like racism
Uh-huh.
through the lens of science fiction so that people would accept it. And the Twilight Zone did the same thing. And that's the kind of stuff I go for. It's like, yes, I understand it's cool to be in the future and stuff, but give me a story that means something. And that's what Star Trek does.
Well, even this episode about being a nuclear deterrent
Mm-hmm.
is that you create a weapon so that wars won't be fought. But what happens when you use the weapon
Yep.
is it becomes mutual destruction.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like who pushed the button that
Yeah,
that started the machine? It's something we'll never know.
right.
But
Uncounted wars, one of many uncounted wars in a distant galaxy.
yep. A whole other galaxy. I'd forgotten that this thing came from a whole other galaxy. So let's
Yep.
start on the Doomsday Machine. I've got a kitty who's sitting on me and looking at me like you are not petting me enough, Mom. Come on, come on. Go. There we go.
All
All
right.
right. So we, of course, start out with Captain's log, blah, blah, blah. Well, not really. We don't really start out with the Captain's log, do we?
No, we have kind
We've
of a
got a
cold
distress
open.
call. We've got a
Yeah.
distress call from the USS Constellation, and they don't know what's going on. They are coming through systems that have been completely destroyed. All the
Yep.
planets have been destroyed. The suns are intact, which is interesting.
Yeah, and they call them solar systems, which is pretty funny because our planet or our star is called Sol.
Mm-hmm.
And so only our solar system is a solar system. Everything else would be a stellar system because it's a star.
Mm.
So it's
Well,
just one of those misnomers that of the time, referring it to something that it isn't.
yeah. Well, the sun is a star,
Yeah.
but
Well, it is a star, but it's our star.
yeah,
So, we're the solar system. Other stellar systems would not be solar system. They'd be named after their star,
right. So
like
yeah,
a Sirius system or something.
yeah. So they're going through whatever the system L370, and everything's been destroyed. There are 7 planets in that system now just completely gone and everything with it. And then they're entering L374, and that's when we discover that there is a dead ship hanging out up in there.
Yep. No communications are down. It's just adrift. It has no power to its engines.
Yep, the bridge is completely gone, not gone, but vacant. There's no one on the bridge. And so they think that there's no one on the ship. And they're going to go over there. And Kirk's leaving Spock in command because why wouldn't he?
Yep.
First
Well, first
officer.
officer
And the
takes
warp.
McCoy and Scotty plus a
Yep.
couple of like a blue shirt and a red shirt along with them.
Right. And the blue shirt gets lines.
Yeah.
Very
Somebody on the science
nice.
team.
Yeah, that's not common
Well,
that day and
imagine if
age.
you leave Spock behind, you're going to take a science officer with you.
Yeah,
So this is our Spock replacement.
right. Also, we have no Uhura during this episode because she had a singing engagement
That's just too
during
bad
this
because
time.
their communication officer gets a lot of lines.
She gets a lot of lines, and she's good at it. I'm not
Yep.
I'm not complaining, but she's not Uhura. And this she will actually see that that same replacement officer in a later episode. But yeah, so they think the thing's dead. They go on board, and Scotty might be able to get impulse fixed, but warp drive dead.
Yep.
They're
The
not,
like the
yeah,
core is fused.
yeah. And yeah, that's apparently it's been a pure anti-proton beam that has destroyed this.
Pure, 100% pure.
100%.
It's like whatever that means, 100% pure anti-proton beam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So no dirt in there.
There's no neutrons at all involved, no
No neutrons,
anti-neutrons,
no
no
anti-neutrons,
electrons, just
no
100%
anti-elect
pure
yeah,
anti-proton beam.
anti-protons.
Force beam.
Yeah, and this was when you called it Space Galactus, which Galactus
It
is
is a
in
space thing.
space.
Yep.
So you just could have called it Galactus. The space didn't need to be there.
Yeah, this thing chews up planets for fuel,
Yep.
which is exactly what Galactus does.
Yeah. I'm wondering if somebody who was writing the script might have gotten an idea from comic books.
Yeah, one side or the other. I think Galactus predates Star Trek, but it could go either way because Galactus is a very 1960s
Mm.
Kirby, Jack Kirby design kind
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
just that helmet alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Space Galactus or Galactus out there, except the difference is that this thing isn't thinking; it is a machine
It looks like a cornucopia or a cigar or
or a
the
bugle.
way they updated it, it looks like an icicle.
Yeah, I don't like the updated one,
Yeah,
and
the icy look is wrong for it. It needs either a
yeah,
metallic or rocky look because I remember it looking kind of rocky.
yeah, and that's the thing is the original looked like when light was shown on it, it looked like was wrapped in tinfoil, but it also looked rocky,
Yeah.
and it was just more intimidating for some
Yep.
reason. But we get what we
Yeah, the
get.
glowy blue doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't work for me either. I mean, I can kind of understand it because space is cold and maybe that's ice that's formed over the machine.
Hmm.
But even so, just no. Um, we get a good I'm a doctor, not a thing is I'm a doctor,
Mechanic.
not a mechanic.
Yep. Yeah, asking McCoy about the ship systems, and he's like, I don't know,
Yep.
or even how the Doomsday Machine works. Lots of references to the H bomb in this, that it's very
Mm-hmm.
similar, that it was this deterrent
It is. It is very similar.
that's not supposed to be used, but it ends up being used anyway.
So basically, this ship is blind, deaf, and paralyzed.
Yeah,
The
it's
Constellation.
yeah, dead in space. But they do
And
find a one person aboard.
yeah, Commodore Decker, who is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? When we first see him, he's kind of out of his mind.
He's devastated by the loss of his crew, 400
Yep. But we
or
don't know that
so.
yet.
Yeah, crew. He's in shock. He's apparently not been sleeping or anything because he's got red under the eyes. They did
Mhm.
a makeup job on this guy to
Oh,
bring
yeah.
out his wrinkles because you can see, stage kind of paint or chalk or something to fill in the creases to really show his wrinkles, especially on the forehead.
I feel like maybe those really weren't all his wrinkles and that he was a younger actor made to look older.
Yeah, or to look like this has taken a toll on him.
Either way,
And so it
yeah.
gives kind of a sickly or unhinged look and really dramatic performance, really pushing it because this is a guy on the edge. And it's Captain Ahabish
Mm,
is that he is obsessed with destroying this thing
gotta
and
hunt his
seeking
way.
revenge for it killing his crew and the responsibility he feels for doing what he thought was the right thing and staying with the ship when the ship was being destroyed, that he
Yeah.
sent all his crew, beamed them down to a planet, and then that planet gets destroyed, and he's still there.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that he couldn't communicate with them. He
Nope.
had no, well, he could communicate with them, but he couldn't do anything about it because transporters were gone.
Hmm.
And so basically he had to listen to 400 people begging him to help them, and he couldn't do
Yep.
anything.
He
And
couldn't beam them back to the ship.
that's a heavy load of guilt to carry.
Yep. And it was just an error of judgment, but if you go by protocol, it was probably the right thing to do. The captain stays
Yeah.
with the ship. And
Yeah. Well, I
so
mean,
send
you
everybody off world or, off the ship onto a planet.
well, that makes total sense. It's like your ship is dead.
Yep.
You're a sitting duck. First priority is to make sure the crew is safe. And so I would think that that is absolutely what he should have done. But how could he know that this thing was going to eat the planet they were on?
And so he second guesses because if he kept his crew aboard, who knows if they would be able to make repairs and escape and manage to contact Starfleet and warn them.
Yeah, it's hard to say because uh with even with the wonder that is Scotty, they still couldn't restore very much of anything on that ship.
Yeah, they got
And
impulse power and eventually got phasers.
yeah, some phasers, but it's there's no here nor there because we don't know what could have happened, but it's protocol dictates that that was probably the right thing to do is to make sure of the safety of the crew first
Well, it
because
shows
ships
how,
can be rebuilt.
yeah, it shows how far gone Matt Decker is in that he is going to repeat his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
He has an opportunity to leave and he doesn't.
Yep. Yep. And instead, he goes over to the Enterprise and decides he's going to take command there because doing the same thing twice is definitely going to work.
Because, yeah, they were going to the medical bay, to check on Deckard because McCoy goes back to the Enterprise. And that's when they have a red alert because the Doomsday machine is in pursuit of the Enterprise and
Mm-hmm.
even attacks and destroys their transporter shortly after McCoy and Deckard get there. So the rest of the crew that are still on the Constellation are stuck there.
Yep. So that's bad. And this thing, no matter how fast they go, this thing is going to catch up with them. That's all it's thing. That's all it is there to do.
Yeah,
And
and
you can, this is
the
the kind of,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the Enterprise loses the warp capacity too, or
Yeah,
capability, so they're stuck on impulse, and that's gonna chew up their fuel. Meanwhile, the Doomsday Machine
just
fuels
eat more
itself on
stuff.
whatever it eats, and so it's just gaining more and more fuel as it goes, and so eventually it will catch up to the Enterprise and destroy it.
Yeah. And the thing is that Decker is treating this like it's a foe. It's a machine.
Yep.
It's doing what it was programmed to do. It doesn't have any feelings, it doesn't have any thoughts. It just does what it's programmed to do. But to Decker, it's the nemesis. He's got to take care of this. He's got to
Hmm.
get revenge. The thing doesn't care about revenge, and you shouldn't either, you
Yeah.
moron.
Well, it's a leap of faith when you assign some kind of consciousness to a thing that isn't conscious.
Yeah.
Just how, with the beginnings of our universe is to assign that to some kind of deity, and some kind of creation myth is it's just a leap of faith to reach that conclusion. The universe could have just always been here or somehow created itself. It's that extra step to assign some kind of consciousness, some kind of direction or meaning, because otherwise you're dying meaninglessly.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody did create the weapon, so there is some intentionality to it somewhere, but that has long gone.
It's probably been, I mean, if it came from another galaxy and even with its how fast it can go, it seems to me that this could have happened millions of years ago.
Oh, yeah. And it's
It-
just been doing its thing
yeah,
that it
it
was
ran at
assigned to
us.
do.
It destroyed an entire galaxy, possibly,
Hmm.
and then is now chewing its way through the next one
Yep. And
because
on
that's
its
what it was
way
programmed to do.
to the Milky Way.
Yep. That's ugh, thinking about it that way, terrifying.
Well, yeah,
Terrifying.
well, you were talking about while we were watching it, how it instilled in you this inevitability of
Mm-hmm.
death.
Yep.
And that's what's really the crux of this episode. It's the tone of the episode is this will kill you.
Mm-hmm. You can't fight it. You
Yeah.
can't stop it.
It's like a zombie movie, eventually the zombies will get you. They
Mm-hmm.
amass in numbers. You can only hide or wait so long before you run out of resources or whatever. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, you're going to die by one means or another.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's Jason stalking through the woods after campers. You know, it's
Yeah.
just eventually going to get you. No matter how fast you run, it's going to catch up to you.
Except Jason actually has emotions, but anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing that is the most pressing now is that this thing is headed for the Rigel colonies. There's a
Right.
lot of people there. And when Decker gets back on board and after he has his little punch up with the poor security officer, who admittedly had a pretty good showing. I mean, he didn't fall after one hit or anything.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Star Trek fight, and there's
Yeah.
some action there. We got a full Nelson that the security guard did
Mm.
on Deckard, but then Deckard boxed the ears and escaped, and then did some gut punches, and of course the axe handle blow, which is like the natural 20 critical hit of the Star Trek universe, apparently. So
Yeah,
you double up your fists and hit somebody in the back, and that somehow knocks people unconscious.
it doesn't. It doesn't. In fact, that seems like a very good way to possibly break your fingers. Because if you're interlacing your fingers when you're hitting
Yeah.
someone, you're putting pressure on all of those fingers.
Yeah, I could see
And
cupping one fist in the
yeah,
palm of the hand and then hitting somebody that way.
yeah,
But
but don't
interlacing
interlace.
your fingers to
Don't
hit
do that.
somebody
Don't do that. You're gonna break your fingers.
seems like a weird plan.
Yeah, well, it was the 60s.
Yeah.
Um,
And how do you
so
defend with that with your fingers interlaced? You don't have
I
a
know.
parrying arm.
Yeah, that's so weird. So, yeah, he basically decides that he's going to take over the ship, Decker does, and he relieves Spock of duty.
And all this
And
while he's got this like yellow and what is it, green square in his hand? Kind of
oh
a
yeah,
blue green,
they're
and
like
they look like post-it notes from
they
afar.
do, but they're actually painted wooden blocks as far as I know.
Yeah, and I
And
thought maybe they're isolinear chips or something. It's like
no,
what's he playing with this whole
I
time?
I think they're like the really early version of the floppy disk,
Right.
and they have programs on them. In
They have
fact,
like information on the
yeah,
on this weapon.
because you'll see in other episodes of Star Trek, and I can't name which one it is right now. But there you see them actually taking those out and putting different ones
Yep.
in. It was some kind of I can't remember what it was. I
It's
can't
like
remember
a
which
data
episode it
chip
was.
of some sort.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Possibly
data.
his logs.
Yeah, could be possibly his logs. We'll never know. But yeah, he's being very condescending now, and he is not endearing himself to anyone on the bridge or the ship, really.
Yeah, they all look at him suspiciously. He relieves Spock of command, and Spock has to acquiesce because it is regulation.
And McCoy wants to immediately certify him as in what's the word here?
As
Uh,
Section C, which is basically
yeah,
Section 8, that
incapable
he's incapable
of being
or
command.
unfit for command.
Unfit for command. That's it. That's the right word.
And
That's the word I'm
Spock
looking
even
for.
brings that up is like, hey, McCoy, you could certify him as unfit for command if you had the medical records to prove it, which they don't because they never went to medbay and McCoy never had time. I think he could. I think you could make an in the spot judgment by
Hmm.
psychological behavior
Yes.
if you are the medical officer to say that your captain's exhausted, that they're making decisions based on illogical premises, that he's set on revenge, making choices that would endanger the ship, these are self-evident.
Yeah.
And I think in that moment, he wouldn't have to have the evidence there. He'd have at least enough to say, well, you're temporarily relieved of command while I can run these tests on you. And if they come out like negative, then yeah, you can resume your command. But until then, you would think he would be able to make that choice. And I think in modern Trek, that would be addressed more,
Yeah.
that the medical officer would have. I mean, we saw that with Bashir recently, is like, you
Hmm.
are relieved of command. You are unfit for duty right now. You are exhausted or close to exhaustion from overwork.
You're gonna go have fun.
Yeah. And you just say the same thing as you've been alone on a ship for all this time.
Mm.
You are relieved of command until you get some rest. It's as simple as that.
It is. It really is. And Spock does get the chance later to logic him out of command.
Yes. Well, threatening to arrest, and that's because of Kirk throwing his weight around. It's like, I am the captain of the Enterprise, and I don't care if he's a Commodore. That is my ship, and you will relieve him of command. That is an order. And Spock goes, okay, yeah, you are relieved of command.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He also logics him out of it because he's like, I'm making this judgment that you are unfit for command
Right.
because you're wasting resources. He's basically wasting resources. He says he says it a lot better, but there's nothing we can do to stop this. We don't have the power. We need to repair our ship. You asking to follow your orders to continue to attack this entity is illogical, and therefore you are not fit for command.
Yep.
So, way to go, Spock.
But then,
Apparently,
yes, Deckard does escape the security guard that was escorting him to Med Bay
of
and
course,
got to the shuttle bay.
that's twice now.
What? What's now?
No, nothing. Just he keeps escaping to places.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But yeah. What was I going to say? There was something I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was.
Was about Scotty?
No, it wasn't about Scotty, but oh yeah. They do try to attack the machine while
Right.
Decker's in command. Phasers do absolutely nothing. And yet he keeps telling them to fire phasers. Now, when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, you are insane, my friend.
Well, there is a slight change in his strategy is to get closer each time, as if the phasers would be more powerful the closer you get,
Nah.
which in a vacuum of space, I don't particularly understand unless it has something about the width of the beam by distance. Maybe the closer you are, the more powerful the phaser is, but they get so close that they get stuck in this thing's like tractor beam and it starts drawing it into its giant gaping maw.
Yeah, because we're going to eat it.
Yep.
That's what
And
it's
the
programmed to do.
horn of the cornucopia.
Yep. Just go right on in there.
Nom nom.
Yeah, it's also weird because the inside when you get a close up of the maw, the inside looks like somebody, diced a bunch of paper and then paper mached it to the inside.
Yeah, you also get this sense of looking into a turbine engine when it's like afterburners going, and so
Yeah.
it's burning the fuel, and so it's chopping up and burning at the same time, which imagine is how it slices up. Well, it's got a beam that slices up planets, and then it can eat them through
Yeah.
this blender like device that's inside
Yeah.
of it.
It's like that machine that tried to kill Saru when he was pinned up against the wall in the Baul compound, just whirring around except light.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Heavily rotating things that can cut you up really fast, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Maximilian's blade hands in
Oh
the black
fuck,
hole.
fuck, God, still scares the shit
Yeah.
out of me. That movie,
It
love
takes
it.
out Anthony Perkins and goes through his book.
Oh man,
All
that made
that
me
paper getting
sad.
shredded. Yeah.
It's like, hey, Anthony Perkins is actually getting a not psychotic role.
There's some parallels between the black hole and this. Is that
Yes.
Ahab like captain
Mm-hmm.
who's hell bent on some kind of goal and won't listen to anybody else and puts
Yeah.
everybody else's lives at jeopardy.
Yeah. Turns his human crew into drones,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, androids.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
That guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he has the audacity to say, "You have to protect me from Maximilian. You built the motherfucker." God.
Yeah, back when Disney was trying to ride that Star Wars dragon. It's like we can release a science fiction film too.
Well, if it's interesting because the black hole did not do well. I still
Yep.
love it
Right.
personally. I remember the first time seeing Tron and going, I don't understand any of this. And here's the weird part. A couple years later, I'm like, Oh, I understand
Uh,
all of this
right.
because the technology was starting to catch up to what
Yep.
we were seeing in the film. And I started
Right.
understanding what was actually going on in that
Yep.
film. To be fair,
Users and
yeah,
programs
I was very young.
and uh executives stealing games,
Oh, David Warner, God, he's so good.
AI computers taking over the world.
Yeah. It's funny, he actually played so many roles in Tron. He
He
was
was the Master Control, he was Sark, and he was what was it the Sark the name of the actual
no,
guy, or is
no.
that's the program,
That
his,
was the program.
but he was
Um
also the executive, whatever his name
Yeah, I
was.
can't remember his name. I can't remember the human guy's name.
Yeah, I know people were disappointed in, was it Tron Legacy? Because it had Cillian Murphy as like son or grandson or something like that. And then we got
Yeah.
nothing else from him. It was
Hmm.
just in the opening, and I was like, that could have been your villain.
Well, I think that they were probably hoping that this was going to become a franchise, and go past more than one movie. And then they had to go and do Tron Ares, and I'm not going to watch anything with Jared Leto in it. It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
there's really no reason to,
Not gonna happen.
unless you
So,
just want to make fun of Morpheus.
yeah, but I just love Tron.
Yep.
So, but anyway, I digress. Sorry, went way off the rails there. Anyway, the of course when Decker is trying to get out of the ship and he's not even waiting for the bay doors to open completely. And
Yep.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, open the pod bay
Open the bay
doors, how?
doors. Open the pod bay
Oh,
doors.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Pod bay doors is kind of weird. It's like, where is that on the ship? These ball-like structures look like
Yeah.
bubbles.
Oh,
It's like you look at the outside of the Enterprise, it's like, I don't see any shape like that on this whole thing.
yeah. Well, it's been a long time since this
Yeah.
episode. A quick note, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I will mention it now. And if I've already said it before, so what? It's our podcast.
Okay.
Um,
Well, it's fine to repeat things.
I was 8 years old when I first saw that movie we were just talking about, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right.
And it was coming on TV. It was on television, and my mom was about to change the channel. I'm like, no, I want to watch this. And she says, are you sure? I don't think you're gonna like it that much. I was mesmerized.
Yep.
Mesmerized. And that movie is like 2.5, 3 hours long.
Oh
It's
yeah, it's like
really
three movies
long.
in one because you have
Yeah.
the ape story, you have the human story, and then you have the Hal story,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all these
Yeah.
different phases
Yeah.
of human development.
And the end, just make it what you want, make it what you think happens.
Yep.
It
The
can be
Star Child.
interpreted in many ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Decker decides he's taken that shuttle up in there. Nice of you to just steal one from the Enterprise.
Hmm.
You gotta wonder what happened to all the shuttles on Decker's ship.
I wonder if they couldn't transport everybody down, so some people took shuttles too, but why not take the shuttles back up
Exactly.
if the planet was being destroyed?
Yeah, they were marooned there.
Well,
They
imagine if your power's been compromised, maybe you can't open the shuttle doors, and by the time he'd get to a
Fair.
shuttle, the planet was probably being destroyed anyway, so we wouldn't be able to get down to the planet, save people, and get back in time.
Thank you for logicking that out for me, Dave.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Unless you can transport people to a shuttle, which sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I do love the point where Decker is saying you're bluffing, and Spock says, I do not bluff. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking do.
And it's like, does
You
he say
do
Vulcans do not
bluff.
bluff?
Yeah, Vulcans do not bluff.
It's like
Yes, they
Klingons do
fucking
not
do.
laugh.
Yeah. It has been proven time and again, both with this Spock and uh alternate universe Spock and Strange New Worlds and Discovery Spock, Vulcans absolutely do bluff and they do lie.
Right.
So there you go.
I mean, the Vulcan High Command and Enterprise are always lying or at least concealing the truth, which is
So
a lie of omission.
yeah. Well, the Vulcan High Command were fucking working with Romulans.
Yeah.
who were enslaving Anars, however you want to say it, to run their ridiculous machines because telepathy.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, they managed to dead the ship. It's quite dead. It's quite dead
Yeah.
now.
In the shuttle, Matt Decker, in a very 2001 seemingly inspired scene,
Yeah.
because they kept cutting between him and the Doomsday Machine, like we have Dave cutting to the Stargate.
Yep.
It's just different expressions as he's getting more and more horrified as he's going into the maw of the Doomsday Machine and gets
Mhm.
chopped up. And Spock notices on the sensors that the Doomsday Machine has lost some power, that it took energy to chop up this shuttle, and the shuttle explosion in the process hurting the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah, and that's when they get the idea of how to hopefully stop said doomsday machine.
Yeah, with the constellation.
Yep.
Jam that up its maw.
Yeah, and some overloading some stuff with a
Yep.
30-second countdown.
Yep.
That was a dumb idea. 30-second countdown. Seriously, give yourself a
Yeah, 30
minute.
seconds, not a whole lot. But then, he does that and then waits until he
Mhm.
pushes or flips the switch, which reminded me of the old cassette players that
Yes.
had little
We had
dial
one.
clicky button things like that.
We had one like that. It was one of those big consoles that had like the record player and the eight
Ah,
track and the
right.
cassette thing. It was like a whole big long cabinet.
Hmm.
You remember those? You flip up the lid.
Yeah, they're actual switches and you push
Mm-hmm.
them and they'll stay in place.
Yep, yep, exactly that. Man, we're just going down memory
Memory
lane
lane.
here today. So yeah, they almost don't get Kirk back because the transporters go down at the most inopportune time.
Yeah, Sulu doing a countdown.
Yep, and they do manage to get Jim back just right at the very last second they possibly could.
Yeah, I like how it transports Son still talking into his communicator.
That was nice. That was a nice sort of continuity thing. I liked that.
There's a lot of fun Kirk moments in this. His swagger run, that's
Hmm.
half John Wayne kind of thing he does. There's the casual way he'll flip open his communicator. There's certain kind of lackadaisical ways he says things.
Yeah,
Just the
and
line readings.
it's interesting too because he's not as over the top this time because that role belongs to Decker in
Right.
this episode. So he has to take a little step down from his over the top normal line delivery.
We get moments like,
We do get a few.
tell me what it is.
Yeah.
What did you see?
But like the whole thing where he's waiting to be beamed back, he's remarkably calm.
Hmm. Yep. Any time now, fellas.
Yeah.
1-2 beam to Enterprise.
So yeah, they send the constellation in, they blow the thing up, everyone is saved. The Rigel colonies should be down on their knees thanking them. No, okay.
Yeah.
Just you standing thanking them. Save their
Yeah,
lives.
sensors read like zero radiation, zero power. It is deaded in the water.
Zero subspace disruption,
Yeah, they
etc.
killed it.
It is fully dead. It does make you wonder what society could have thought that was a good idea to. I mean, I get the idea of the doomsday machine, and they talk about it with the H bomb,
Yep.
which it was, still pretty recent, even in 1968.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that long ago. It was less than 20 years ago. So, or no, it was more than 20 years ago. Anyway, it's just, it's a metaphor. And this time they actually call out the metaphor
Yeah.
in dialogue. That's
Yep.
not always how it goes, but it's for the dumb people, basically.
Yep.
The guys who think that it's just cowboys and with laser guns. That's all this is. No, this has meaning to it. So yeah, and
Hmm.
now they get to hopefully go back to a starbase of some kind and get repaired.
And we get our little light humor moment towards the end, where between Spock and Kirk, and he's like, well, we did well encountering this doomsday machine. It's like, well, it's one of those is sufficient. I don't want to run across any more of them.
Yep.
So just a little button on the episode.
Yeah, an interesting thing that I found out, and I'm sure I could look up more things, but I'm not going to. This is one of the episodes where Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner were not getting along at all.
Oh,
And I don't blame Leonard Nimoy because Shatner is a dick. He is
yeah.
he is really full of himself even to this day. And you know he just he puts other people out so that he can have what they have instead of them having it. Like, and I may have told this story on another podcast, but a few years ago, my younger sister, she does a lot of cosplaying with the 501st and with Rebel Alliance, Rebel Legion, whatever you call it. And they have they had very specific dressing room areas set forth for them because it's difficult to change on a convention floor.
Yep.
And so they had, rooms set aside for them. And William Shatner decided that he needed more space and he took those rooms away from them. So, whatever you may think about William Shatner, that was something that actually happened. And it happened to somebody I know, my younger sister. So don't tell me that he's all sunshine and rainbows. He is not a very nice person.
Yeah, I've heard more bad accounts than good. I've also heard that he has, I think, from being near explosions on set and stuff, that he's developed like a ringing in his ears that
Yeah,
is
I
like
know
near
that.
constant. So that
Yeah,
could be annoying and drive you a little nutso.
yeah.
But that's
It
still not excuse for bad behavior because he was
no.
already kind of full of himself and, just I could imagine the popularity of Spock as a character rivaling his own, that
Oh,
could get
no, no,
under his
no.
skin. So
Superseding his own. He got
superseding his own.
way
Yeah.
more fan mail than Shatner did.
Oh,
Way
easily.
more. So, yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There's the Doomsday Machine, a warning to us all. Don't make weapons of mass destruction.
Do not make weapons of mass destruction.
But, that's something we've already jumped the shark on that.
Right.
So, yeah,
And
and
that's
it
the
does.
episode, I
Yeah, that's
guess.
that's the episode. That's the episode, and that was our commentary on how we started with this series, which is the start of Star Trek for us.
Yeah, because we missed that in the previous episode. I think we were so excited about getting to the original series, we forgot
Yes.
our own format about, when we discuss a series we haven't discussed before,
Yeah.
to talk about, what our expectations were, what our experiences was, that sort of thing.
Yep. So that means it is time
It is
to
time.
find out what our next episode will be.
What number am I typing in this time?
Let's see
900
here. Give me a
and
second. Give me a second. I gotta scroll to the bottom.
some reason I think
Do,
it's
do, do, do,
957, but I could be
do,
wrong.
do, 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 do.
I
It
hope
is
it's
nine.
Starfleet Academy because we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, this is 9:59.
959.
9:59.
Yeah, needle in a haystack to get a Starfleet Academy episode because we only have the 5 to choose from right now.
Yep.
So, oh yeah, we have more screeners, don't we?
Yep.
Maybe we'll watch one with Dinner, who knows?
I was gonna suggest that.
Okay, so 959, you want me to hit the enter key?
Hit the enter key, baby.
268.
268. That sounds like TNG.
Next generation?
Sounds like it. 268, 268, 268. Getting there, getting there, getting there. It is, no, it is actually Deep Space Nine.
Ooh,
Season 1, Episode 15, Progress.
progress.
Yep.
I was hoping you would say prog rock.
Prog rock. Give me some Dream Theater up in here,
It's like
bitches.
Rush and Styx and what else?
Okay. Okay.
Jethro
268.
Tull with some like flute metal or something.
DS9, Season 1, Episode 15, Progress. while
Progress.
I'm doing this, because I like to write these things down lest I forget, thank you, Dan, for the use of your spreadsheet and
Indeed.
for allowing us to, because I was starting to compile my own spreadsheet, and then you said just use mine.
Just use
It was
mine.
such a relief.
It's easier.
Such a relief. I mean, he's got the air dates and everything on this. It's magnificent.
Right.
So we appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. Thanks to Patrick for just being Patrick, because
Hmm.
we have so much fun talking about Trek and other things too. There's lots of
Indeed.
things we have in common. And yeah, to everyone who bothers to listen to this podcast, thank you for being here, because we really have a good time doing this,
Hmm.
and we hope that you enjoy it too, because we're gonna keep doing this whether you like it or not.
Yeah, we like podcasting together, and this seems to be a topic that we can talk about for quite a long time, because I think
Yeah.
by last estimate was something like 17 years to cover all of it.
Yep. And that's not including what may be in the future, but
Yep.
it's interesting because we don't have the same opinions about everything in Star Trek, and you
Yeah.
will often have insights that I didn't even think about, and so we balance each other out in that way.
Yeah, we have our different favorite characters, we have our different favorite episodes, different
Yep.
approaches to different series. I mean, there's times we overlap, and
Yeah.
for obvious reasons, but yeah, there's enough of a distinction, enough of different directions from which we approach things, because, I've got some weird philosophy stuff and various weird things like that, and you got
Your
some of the
philosophy
more
isn't weird.
creative stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
kind of yin and yang.
Yep. That's how we play. That's how we
Hmm.
play. All right, Dave, is there anything you want to tell anybody?
Oh, music wise, for those people who are still interested, I think Pie Man being one of those, maybe.
Yay! Hi, Puri.
uh, uh, was Bandcamp Friday, this last Friday, which was what, yesterday?
Yesterday.
And just looking around, I ran across that Leather Strip has a tribute album devoted to Skinny Puppy. The entire album, which I think it was like 45 tracks. Each of them is a cover of a Skinny Puppy song.
That's insane.
And I love Leather Strip. I love Skinny Puppy. So this is like a match made in heaven.
Mm.
Leather Strip is Klaus Larson, who's, I think, the granddaddy of dark electro, my favorite genre. Skinny Puppy being my favorite band, even though they're not dark electro, they're more electro industrial. But just to have that crossover, and Klaus is so instrumental. He's appeared on so many collaborations. I believe he's the guy that told Rudy Ratzinger when he was DJing in clubs that, produce your own stuff. And that became Vumscut.
Mm.
Who like changed the sound of EBM. Like people were just copying Vumscut for years, to the point where V&V Nation said, enough of this. We're going
Mm.
to introduce some trance and club elements into our music, and created future pop, which is like just like a reaction to what was going on in the scene with just dark electro everywhere. It's like, let's do something else. Let's make it more pop friendly. And you get a whole other genre that way.
Yep.
And so Klaus is just had his hooks, and he's an out gay man, into kink, leather daddy, bear. I think he recently fought cancer and is a
Oh,
survivor.
good for him.
So yeah, just love his covers, and to do like a huge tribute album to my favorite band. I need to listen to that album. But yeah, that's available. You can also find me as DJ Evil Dave in lots of places. I'm still playing around with DJ Studio. I think I'm gonna redo my EBM playlist, because I'm removing one that turned out to be a right winger. A lot of EBM guys seem to be going that direction, which is disappointing, considering looking around and seeing what, the right wing have been doing, and
Hmm.
how antithetical it is to human rights. Is like, I don't know about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, trying to find the people that are still, on the right side of history, I suppose, and compiling a playlist of those bands.
Finding him people who are not complete dicks.
Yep,
Good on you.
yep.
All right then. If you want, you can find me on Blue Sky at Brandywine, and you could find me on Instagram if you wanted to at Brandy Jackola. I also have a book review one, but I don't really chat there.
Yeah, it's
So
just you posting reviews, isn't it?
it's me posting reviews and promoting independent authors' work.
Right.
That's basically what I do there.
There's some hockey romances on that list
So many hockey
for
romances.
all you heated rivalry people.
Oh my God. In fact, I was, authors will often, independent authors anyway, will often help share works of other independent authors and in order to help promotion reach a wider audience. And one of the authors that I read was promoting this one book, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm reading it right now. Damn it. But it's basically heated rivalry in book form.
Uh-huh.
Except these two guys, they 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 don't know yet. They didn't know at first that each other was gay, and they're not out because that can be very brutal on a hockey
Right.
player. And now they've been chosen for the Olympic team. They're on different teams, and now they're
Ah.
playing together on the same team. And we've got the golden boy who feels like he doesn't deserve to be there because his dad is an asshole who has just basically been, making deals to get him into all of these things to get him
Uh-huh.
further in the sport, and instead of just letting him play hockey. And then the other guy, he's a guy that hockey basically was some thing that saved his life, saved his dad's life. And he's known as the person who he's an enforcer, so he's protecting the other hockey players when they're trying to make a play. And he gets really rough, and he gets a lot of time in the sin bin. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
time, like the most time of any other player in the sin bin. And he does not hate the golden boy, and the golden boy does not hate him, but everybody thinks that they're rivals.
Ah.
And now they're rooming together in training before they head off to the Olympics. And I'm just like, oh, I can't wait till these guys get together for real. I'm so excited. They're so good together. They balance each other out, And yeah, I want Connor as the golden boy, and I want his dad to eat shit and die. I want that man far away from him. He is a horrible person. Horrible, horrible person. He's one of those helicopter parents that is living out his dreams through his son,
Right.
and doesn't care about his son as a person, and is absolutely furious that his son is gay. So that's another reason
Yeah.
why he doesn't come out. But yeah, anyway, there you go. So there's fun stuff to read on
Yep.
the internet.
And some stuff to listen. Oh, another thing about Klaus is the Assemblage 23, the guy behind that project. I believe it was Klaus that told him to sing his own songs because he had a good enough voice.
Ooh,
To
nice.
not find another vocalist is just produce your own music, sing your own songs, you'll do fine. And yeah, great future pop band.
Yep.
So yeah, Klaus, amazingly influential. And yeah, Leather Strip. And he's got other cover albums where he does like compilations of cover songs. He has one that's devoted specifically to German bands. I think
Ooh, nice.
99 Luftballons is on there.
Ooh.
And yeah, I believe appreciation, and he in his name and in the title of the appreciation thing, it's that combined letter AE.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what you're looking for. But yeah, Leather Strip, check it out.
Give me a second here. I am trying to
Find the
find out
author.
the author because
Fair
the
enough.
Kindle Unlimited. There it is. The Kennedy Rule is the name of the book I was just talking about, and it's
Ah,
by K.C. Carmichael. So, and I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. So,
nice.
yep. I love watching two boys fall in love.
Yep.
I love watching anybody fall in love, but two boys
Love.
especially.
You love
Yes.
love. You're just like Sam.
I
But we
love
can't talk
love.
about that episode yet.
No, we can't. So yeah, there we go. Thank you again for being here.
What,
And
the listener or me?
all of you. Dave, thanks for doing this with me.
Okay.
And thanks to all our listeners who actually give a shit and listen to the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a small listenership, but a devoted one. So
Yeah,
thank you all.
I don't need to be the top podcast.
Yeah.
I've never been that kind of
Yeah,
fame
and Star
seeker at all.
Trek podcast, that's a long road to get to there.
Yeah, there's just so much out there, and I'm content with what we have. I'm just glad that that we're doing this. So yeah, take care of yourselves, live long and prosper, fight fascism. And yeah, I guess we'll just talk to you next week then.
Indeed.
Okay, then bye.
Bye.
Ska